What's going on, everybody? Kyle Powers here with Haven Real Estate Group at eXp Realty. K-State grad, turned contractor, turned real estate agent and investor. We are here with another episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. I've got Robert here with legalshield, senior manager at legalshield. Robert, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it.
You bet. It's great to be here, Kyle. Thank you.
Let's start with you, right? Let's start with what brought you to Manhattan. Tell me a little bit about your family. Kind of give me the backstory and what brought Robert and his family to Manhattan, Kansas.
Sure, it's a great story. So my wife and I were soldiers stationed in Germany, and when we chose to fall in love with each other and get married, we flew back to the States to get that done. And then when we got back to Germany on our honeymoon, she was on orders for Fort Riley, Kansas. And so since the fall of '92, Manhattan has been our home. We raised our children here, we retired here, and we just love the city.
So very similar story to most people, where it's a come to Manhattan kicking and screaming and end up falling in love with the place and build a family and build a home here, huh?
100%.
I love it. How many kids do you have?
We have 4 living, and they all bleed purple. Of course, they're scattered abroad now, except for one of them is still at home. Yeah.
Perfect. So, Robert, tell me a little bit then about legalshield, right? You're senior manager at legalshield. How long have you been doing that? And then tell me a little bit about legalshield and what that looks like for you, for our viewers, for everybody else on that side of it.
So legalshield is a 51-year-old company specializing in prepaid legal services. Their mission, Kyle, and those of you viewing, is to make access to the legal system easy and affordable.
So, and you've been with legalshield now for how many years now?
As an associate, 2 years, and then I don't know how many years as a consumer before that.
Okay, so tell me a little bit then, what does legalshield cover? I know that you and I have had conversations off camera before about the long list of everything that they do for their clients, for their people, and for all that stuff. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure. What they have done, Kyle, is through every state of our country and provinces within Canada, they have dedicated provider law firms that service our legalshield members. And so for the cost of less than $1 a day, a whole family can get a plethora of legal services accessible to them right from the power of their phone. This would include estate planning, document review, traffic assistance, trial defense for civil matters, and a plethora of other things.
Fantastic. So you're saying I can have a lawyer in my back pocket kind of thing is what I'm looking at then.
24/7. And that is literally 24/7 because every legalshield member has an on-call attorney for those after-hour crisis situations where access to representation would be most important.
And are they local to Kansas or are they all over the country? What does that look like?
Yes, so our provider law firm for the state of Kansas is Riley, Burkhart & Nitcher out of Lawrence, Kansas. They are 120 years practicing law, a third-generation law firm. And depending on which state you live in, there are provider law firms unique to that state.
Let's just say that I travel to Wisconsin or something like that, and I've got them in my pocket. Am I calling, quote unquote, my people there in Lawrence, or am I calling somebody in Wisconsin, or what does that look like if I have a traffic incident or something like that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So your dedicated law firm is the one that services you from the state, and then through our referral network, if you needed outside state services, then that would tap into that additional network.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, tell me a little bit then, kind of dive into some of the services. I know you hit that a little bit, but some of the services that they do. I know you said there's a plethora of things that they do with that side of it, but what do you like the most about legalshield and what that looks like and what that really will become? Yeah, let's dive into that.
Sure. I think that's a great question. I think the answer to that really lies in their mission. And again, to restate it, is to make access to the justice system easy and affordable for all. Discrimination is wrong. Racism is wrong. Unjust practices are wrong. But when we are the recipients of those things, we're the victims of those things, having affordable access, it's just not realistic. Billable hours are anywhere from $300 to $600 or more. And again, to have that as a prepaid service where I'm paying in less than $30 a month to have that when I need it, it's an incredible benefit. So I think that's what resonates most with me, is being able to to bring fairness into a situation that either by reality or perception is not fair.
So the way it works then is you're paying $30 a month for things that may or may not happen. Is essentially kind of like a legal insurance, if you will. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Primarily, I don't know if you're aware of this, Kyle, but 7 out of 10 people that should have their estate planning documents, just a basic will and living and durable powers of attorneys, medical power of attorneys, financial power of attorneys, 7 out of the 10 people that should have those in place just don't. And it's always kind of like in the back of our minds, oh yes, it's important, I'll get around to it. And those services can range from anywhere from $500 to $1,500 or more just for that one piece. That is an included benefit for our members. That our provider law firm will construct those documents, have those consultations, and then annual revisions as they would be necessary. So that's a huge benefit to individuals and families for sure.
That's awesome. So individuals and families, are you able to work with businesses and things like, I know that you and I have talked a little bit about like kind of real estate stuff like evictions and things like that. Is that something that they would be able to cover?
Yes. So aside from the family plans, we have a variety of business plans that are available for varying size businesses based on the needs that they have, to include a specialized program where we have young entrepreneurs, and we've serviced many here in our own community, of taking their business idea, tying them into legal consultation to bring that into existence, the construction of their LLC, and the consultations to help them navigate that situation specifically.
Perfect. So tell me then, what is your favorite part about Legal Shield? 1 for you, and then 2, what do you like seeing? Let's just say, for example, I like to see young investors get involved in real estate. So what would be something that you like to see and help people with in your position?
Yeah, thank you. So that takes me back to the very first client that I ever signed, and it came by way of a referral from a networking friend in the town of Lawrence. His client was in a very difficult situation renting from a landlord who, according to them, it was an unsafe and unhealthy situation. I'll never forget the words that she said to me, Kyle. She said, "I never envisioned myself having to mop my ceiling." Think about that. And the black mold that had been perpetuating over several months and not getting anywhere as far as getting some help in that situation. And then when they wanted to leave that lease early, the challenges that presented. She became a Legal Shield client. Our provider law firm helped her navigate that to her satisfaction and to get her family out of an unsafe situation into a safe situation. So that's just one example of many of where, again, we're bringing fairness and accessibility to those services into a situation that they could not have been afforded otherwise.
Okay, so let's talk about this then. What does that look like for our viewers and for anybody that wants to reach out and potentially become a client of yours? What does that look like?
Thank you. So on the civil side, I'd love an introduction to the personal meeting to explain how the process works. And then it's just a matter of creating that membership from our website and then downloading the mobile app onto their device so they will have their attorney with them 100% of the time. If it's on a business opportunity, then I like to have an extensive conversation with them because we have scalable plans based on the robust needs or the minimal needs of that business so that we filter them into exactly what they need is going to be to their best benefit.
So you make it pretty painless then. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. It should be.
Yeah, as it should be. I agree with you. So, okay, well, perfect. So tell me a little bit then, or just tell me, how do we get a hold of you, right? Is it phone? Is it email? Is it website? What does that look like? Let's say someone watching this video today wants to reach out to you, become a client, become a Legal Shield customer.
So I can be reached at 785-564-2526. And my email address is robertbniks@gmail.com.
Guys, I'll go ahead and put Robert's contact information in the description below. That way you can work out with Legal Shield and you can become customers of his and having information with him on that side of it as well. So again, thank you so much for watching these videos. I really do appreciate it. Robert is a fantastic human being. He's a fantastic sales manager, senior manager at Legal Shield. And I would highly recommend his services and everything that they do there because they do a fantastic job. And again, let's be real, having a lawyer in your pocket at all times is something pretty nice to have, regardless, even if you think you may never need them, right? It's good to have them there, good to have that safety net for yourself and for your family as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. If you guys know anybody that is interested in Robert's services and Legal Shield services or anything like that, please, please, please share this video with them. Reach out to Robert, get in touch with them. I'd love to have you guys take care of that. If you do enjoy these videos and you are enjoying this content, go and hit that subscribe button. Go and hit that little bell so you get notified of any future content and give us that like because it does help us grow the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please share this video with somebody that you think may be interested in Robert's services and Legal Shield services and what we can do to help to connect them there. So thank you so much. If you have questions, put in the comments below. Love to hear from you. And don't forget to tune in next week because we will have another great episode of Local Legends of the Flint Hills, where business meets community. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.